Greetings, dear one, dear person, beloved spirit, soul, whatever labels, I guess, that we're trying to describe ourselves, but we're beyond labels. We're beyond proof, you might say. And my topic is manifesting your heart's desires. We are manifestors. That means we're creators, or we're part of that creative process that works through, in a sense, our intentions, our desires, what we think about, what we talk about, what we do. And the key, because what I'm sharing with you is what I do myself. And I started when I was about 17. The body was, because we're eternal. We're not any age or time. You have to let go of the time game and stop thinking of yourself as age, as time, as old, as young, as any of those kinds of labels. And when I started around 17, I had this one night, and I was getting ready to graduate from this high school. You know, schools are like fish. They all go together, all the same, in a little group. And the place where they teach you to memorize all these things. And I'm so glad that I had such a great time in school, because I wasn't scholarly. Well, mainly because I really wasn't interested in what they were teaching. I always got by and got, B's or whatever. But because I always got along with everybody, and the teacher liked me and all that. But it didn't make sense to me. What made sense to me was music, the theater, acting, social service, helping others, and that was sports, because we did dancing, we did swimming, we did softball, we did hockey, basketball. Those were all fun because you were with a team. And it really was not that important who won or who didn't win. It was more enjoying and playing the game. Tennis. So I liked the sports, and I loved the events. Go to the football game. And it wasn't that I knew anything about football. Of course, I didn't at all. But the Peanuts were pretty good, and there were a lot of boys there. That was always cool. And you could cheer, and you could do all these kind of things. So my experience in school, I remember I sold my soul in first grade for a chocolate candy bar, because I didn't really want to learn the alphabet, because it didn't really make sense to me, because there wasn't really much I wanted to read. I didn't want to read about Dick and Jane and the dog, really. So, because it wasn't until I got into the high school that I saw a book on reincarnation in the high school library, and all of a sudden that interested me. Something about me, something about how I could attain the happiness, the love, the joy, have my needs met in this world, but to find out about myself and how things operate, and about, is there God, and is there where do we come from, where are we going, these kind of questions. And these are important. This is what we need to learn and need to do. But what happens usually in that whole system of education or media is to keep us away from ourselves, but to be manifesting, in a sense, what we're taught. How we're supposed to be so-called successful. You don't want to be a failure. You want to make sure you get a good grade, and you don't get an F, and you get liked. Everybody likes you, and all of these kind of things that so cloud our perception. So if we really want to manifest our heart's desires, we first need to witness how everything is operating, and you have to know yourself, and you also need to know how your mind operates, because there's the false mind and you have divine mind. Divine mind doesn't think. It's a state of bliss. It's a state of knowing, absolute knowing, because you do know, because we are connected to all knowing. We are part of that. That is part of who we are. And by keeping us outer directed all the time to manifest the picket fence, to manifest, make sure you get a dog and a house and a car and you get a mate, you get a this and a that, you go to the right places, you belong to the club, you're part of what's going, or you're a failure, and so it's all of these thoughts and all of these objectives and all of these values, that when it comes to our heart's desire, we're actually mostly just manifesting this false mind, this false ego mind, all of what we've been taught to desire. And to desire something, a sire is actually a male who is would be to sire children, but to desire, to de would be not to, almost, not to manifest. So even the words that we're saying are being manifested because we're manifestors. This is who we are. And when we're captured in our minds and focus so much on wanting to be liked, accepted, fit in, belong, be safe, secure, all of these desires, thoughts that we have been taught, and taught is even to be taught uptight, the same word, to be uptight taught, as well as to learn something, keeps us manifesting, producing someone else's movie or dream or thoughts or ideas, because they come from the outside. And when things are coming from the false mind, that stream of thoughts that's continuously going, they're not really coming from your heart. So how do we manifest our heart's desires? Well, first of all, you have to get in touch with what's really in your heart. Who are you? And what is it that you truly desire in your heart? We say, well, I desire a lot of money. Well, why? Well, because, look why. Oh, I'll be secure. Really? You don't even own your property. You're paying rent. It's called taxes. You could own it free and clear, but if you didn't pay your taxes, it's not yours. So we're renting it. Oh, that's interesting. So you think, well, then money will make me feel secure, but then you'll be afraid that you're going to lose the money. Somebody's going to take it. You got to watch it. You got to move it. You got to do it here. And then you think, well, yeah, what would make me secure would be to have a lot of stuff. And then you got to have a storage place. You got to get a big place so you can store all your stuff and everything. But why do you want all that? Well, because then I'll feel good. I won't be afraid anymore. Oh, so what's in your heart's desire? To have no fear. To not be plagued by continual doubt, self-doubt, self-abuse, hatred, resentment. All of these, they call them deadly sins because they're missing the mark. It's not on target. And it's deadly because it keeps people dying. It all supports the belief in death, the belief in lack and poverty and scarcity and all of these that have been programmed in and repeated constantly. You see, we're not concerned here about conditions, because these are effects. And when people are trying to make the world a better place, what's wrong with the world? It's just reflecting and manifesting our thoughts and our beliefs. And so when we have fear and terror in our mind and we image it and we picture it and we watch it and we view it and we pay even to sit in a comfortable chair in a hypnotic state and be programmed, and then we want to desire this, and then what's flashing in our mind all the time are what all these celebrities have and all of the wealth of the athletics and all of these kind of things. Oh, if I could have all that wealth, that I'd be like them. These are not happy people. So you really you want to be happy. So you start to look at, when have you felt really comfortable and good? What's really in your heart? And we think, well, if I get this, then I'll do this, and then if I get that, I'll feel bad, and I get rid of that, then I'll be okay. So you got to get right to the center, the core of it. You want to be strong and knowing. You want to be without fear. You want to be really clear on who you are. You want to know if there's a God or not. And what is a God? What most people think? Well, they've trashed the words, because it's just like guru, they trash the words, G-U-R. I mean, all of these words, and the definitions change and all that. So it helps us to see the good part is to get away from all the definitions, to get away from all of what we've been told or taught to believe will make us happy. And I'll tell you, when I got to the top of what I thought I had to achieve in the world, and the fame and the glory and all of that, the glamour, what we're taught, I thought, ooh, it's not what I thought it would be. Because we're taught, oh, how wonderful, how happy that you stand around with a drink in your hand at a party over the art table. Yeah. What do you really want? To feel good at the party. And you are the party. So trust your inner guidance.